I'm just trying to decide if I'm comfortable even talking about that.
This one's wife, forced to love. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Jessica Gibb and Scarlett O'Toole comment in the Mirror about the recent appearance from this one's wife and Prince Harry when they supported an exhibition in Los Angeles. This one's wife and Prince Harry joined forces to attend an event for the Kinsey African American Art and History Collection. But there's a suggestion that they are not as united as it might seem. Well, this certainly isn't news to any of you. After all, you're familiar with my work, which tells you that you're watching the dynamic between a narcissist and her intimate partner primary source victim. And, given the timeline of events between the two, Harry is in what is known as a sustained devaluation, whereby there will be periods where she is unpleasant to him, doling out malign manipulations against him because he's painted black, and then there'll be instances where he has a respite period, and he's treated to the golden period once again. Then he's back into the sustained devaluation. Up and down it goes, the roller coaster road, a ride rather that many people who have been involved with a narcissist have experienced. Therefore they aren't united. They never have been. They might have been in the mind of Harry, but in this one's wife it's always been about her. It's always been about her needs, what she requires, and of course all of this being subconsciously linked to the pursuit of the prime aims. The report states Prince Harry and this one's wife put on forced displays of affection as they came together to support an exhibition about black art and history in Los Angeles, a royal expert claims. Now let us pause there. Let us assume that they did demonstrate forced displays of affection. Why? Let's start with Harry. With Harry, it may well be the case that his emotional empathy has been eroded as a consequence of the behaviours that have been exhibited towards him, that he simply can't stand his wife, or that he's had enough of the way that she's treated him. But he recognises that there is an image that needs to be presented to the outside world, and therefore he's not going to stand there looking sulky. He's not going to cause a kick-off, and therefore he goes through the motions. It might also be, or rather in the alternative, that he does this because he knows that if he doesn't, he gets it in the neck when they get home. He knows, for instance, that if he doesn't walk alongside her, doesn't allow her to go first, doesn't allow himself to be moved around by the grip of doom, there is always the risk that behind closed doors, away from the facade management that's necessary in front of the public, that when they get back, she lashes out at him. Why did you pull away from me? Why did you not let me go first? Etc., etc. And in those circumstances, that results in Harry putting forward this forced affection because he knows that if he doesn't, it's just not worth it. Many individuals who are victims of narcissists recognise that they put up with the treatment, that they smile and wave, that they grin and bear it, because the alternative isn't worth countenancing. They know that if the narcissist disapproves of their behaviour, whilst they may not say anything whilst they're in public, once they get home, once that door closes, the gloves come off and it's a thoroughly unpleasant situation. So it's possible that Harry's forced display of affection, if that is accurate, is either as a consequence of the necessity of maintaining an image, or that he's simply trying to keep matters on the straight and narrow. What about this one's wife? Well, of course, her displays of affection are all entirely manufactured. They're not genuine. They don't come from a place of emotional empathy. And in some instances, as a consequence of the imitation game, do watch that video if you haven't done so already, her responses aren't natural because they're not governed by emotional empathy, they're governed by an intellectual response. And therefore, this is why she's often quite clumsy around Harry, pushing and prodding him and manoeuvring him. And therefore, to certain eyes, that may well appear like a forced display of affection. Let's learn more. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were pictured visiting SoFi Stadium as part of a launch event for the Kinsey African American Art and History Collection. In pictures shared on Instagram, the couple seemed happy at the event as they mingled with guests and were treated to a private exhibit tour. However, royal author Tom Quinn, yes, it's him again, said Harry seemed uncomfortable at the event, while this one's wife looked as if she was still acting in suits. He said the contrived appearance could have been the result of unfounded rumours the couple were facing issues in their marriage. Now, it certainly does seem to me to be the case that Tom Quinn is doing the rounds as he has a book to flog and seems to be generating some observations, which, of course, they're his opinion, he's entitled to generate them, but doesn't necessarily formulate ones which have any great validity. Here, he's suggesting that the interactions between them seem contrived. He may well be correct about that. And if he is, well, I've already explained to you the reasons why that is the case. Continues, he said, Harry and this one's wife's recent hosting of a special event in honour of the Kinsey African American Art and History Collection gave the couple the chance to do something for an institution that has a special place in this one's wife's heart. And it was fascinating to see how loved up this one's wife and Harry were at the event. But there was a sense that some of this was rather forced. Recent publicity has suggested this one's wife and Harry's relationship is under strain, and this will have determined the couple to make a public demonstration of their love for each other and the strength of their marriage. But to many, their displays of affection look contrived. Many of us thought this one's wife looked as if she was still acting in suits, and Harry always looks uncomfortable with public hugs. Well, indeed he might do so. Tom suggested the couple will want to keep up their romantic displays as it's become a big part of their brand. He told us Harry and this one's wife gave up being working royals when they left the United Kingdom. After Edward and Mrs. Simpson, it was the romance of the century. So there will be panic at any suggestion that the relationship isn't going really well. Their romance is a key part of their brand. So whenever we see them now in public, they will make huge efforts to show they are still madly in love. Harry is in the most difficult position because he gave up being a working royal for this romance, and if the romance fails, he has nothing else. This one's wife knows how to use her acting skills to make a brand work. Harry hasn't a clue. He only knows how to be a royal, and he gave that up. Harry and this one's wife were recently hit with split rumours, but hit out at the speculation with the defiant statement which was shared with the Mirror during their trip to Canada in February. A representative for the couple told us, we've heard time and time again that certain opportunities to make or break for the couple, they're still here. They're still working and pursuing what they believe in despite constantly being challenged and criticised. This couple will not be broken. As a matter of opinion and interpretation as to whether the behaviours were contrived. However, the point is this. It's always an appearance with this one's wife. Harry may be uncomfortable for the reasons that I've already articulated. And with this one's wife, there is no genuine affection there. It is all contrived, generated by her narcissism for the purposes of trying to convince everybody else that this is an idyllic marriage, that people should react to it accordingly, heaping praise upon it, because it's all about the acting. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.